without power, it is not only the lights and the refrigerator and having your cell phone and your television and stuff. It's much more basic. It's fresh water and sewage treatment plants working, and what happens if those don't operate?
Pittsburgh District is the only district that manages and oversees temporary emergency power missions on behalf of FEMA. We're prepared to launch our teams on very little notice, whether it is Monday morning at 7 o'clock, whether it's Christmas Eve, it does not matter. We're always ready to roll out the door, and we're always ready to support the nation to get temporary power where it's needed.
We've responded to all kinds of different disasters in the last couple of years since I've been here. Hurricane, tornado, winter storms, ice storms, wildfires out in the West and Midwest, and just anything that can cause a power outage. The people we serve are local communities in general, but specifically, it's critical public facilities, and it starts with life-saving facilities, hospitals, emergency rooms, and then life-sustaining facilities. We've installed generators at dialysis centers in the height of COVID. Those facilities that are truly saving and maintaining lives during the aftermath of a disaster is our customer.
Our planning and response teams are on a 6-hour recall alert. If there is a request, they have 6 hours to start movement so we can be set up and operational in 24 to 48 hours in a disaster area upon a request from FEMA to provide temporary emergency power.
And it's not necessarily dealing with speed and how quick we can get there. It's the efficiencies of how we can get the generators installed to save the people's lives or to reduce the amount of burden that is on the community members themselves. The Pittsburgh District is the sole provider of the temporary emergency power contract and the administrative needs that are required in order to make this program work. We are the experts, but we must rely on other districts and other people within the USAIDs and our stakeholders, FEMA, our contractors, the local and state POCs to move the mission along. We have to have all of those parties involved in order to crack the code of miscommunication.
If I could get one message across to the impacted districts of what Pittsburgh does for temporary emergency power, we are here for them every step of the way to enable them and resource them so that they can focus on their employees, the disaster that has just occurred in their backyard and their local partners, and we can focus on providing temporary emergency power in their area and just take all of the administrative burden off of them.
We take away the burden from the other districts we support by managing ENGLink taskers, conducting RSO&I for deploying personnel, managing funds, and conducting fiscal closeout after the mission is complete. Regardless of where it happens, all temporary emergency power missions come to Pittsburgh, and we provide that same level of support, whether it's one single mission or whether it's multiple missions over multiple areas. We provide that support no matter what.
A good example of that is one of the storms that came through in 2018, I believe it was. When it hit the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, you had a district responsible for that area. Then it hit Florida and then proceeded to come up the coast. And it came all the way to Virginia. So you've got multiple districts handling their individual areas. But every one of those temp power missions was all being managed out of Pittsburgh because we're the experts in that field.
This work is very fulfilling. It is the most fulfilling thing I think you can do in the Corps of Engineers. Without the support of us behind the scenes, the mission can't happen. Our communities benefit. Our fellow citizens that have had their lives kicked out from underneath of them due to a natural disaster or something else that was completely out of their control, they receive the benefit.